Hello and welcome to week 11 of Friday Football Fever. I'm Jeff Jones and we have completed the regular season in Central Texas high school football. This week, several district championships and playoff spots were up for grabs, and in District 11, 5A D1, two of the hottest teams in the area would put a 3-game win streak and a 5-game win streak on the line as Cedar Park took on Georgetown. Now, a win for the Eagles would secure at least a share of the district championship, but to get there, they'd have to go through a team they hadn't beaten in 14 seasons.
Playoff seeding, share of district title, beating Cedar Park. I mean, it's a big week when it comes to those things.
Georgetown's been solid ever since I've played them, years ago. They've always been a good football team.
I mean, haven't beat them in 14 years at the varsity level, so to come together as a team, beat them for the first time in a long time, that'll be a big deal.
That rivalry, 14 years, we haven't beaten them, but that's all talk,
We can get the run game going and that'll open up the pass game. If we got both going, then they won't be able to stop us.
People come out on the bus and they're like, man, they're nothing, and then they play us and everything changes.
A lot of teams underestimate us, and then we step on the field and they're like, oh crap, okay, these guys are serious.
At the end of the day, we're going to come home with a district title, and then we're going to head off with the playoffs.
It's the game of the week, sponsored by Urology Austin.
We sent our photographers out with ponchos, umbrellas, and rain boots because we knew this was likely. Georgetown was the first of many stadiums to enter weather delay this evening. Once the Eagles and Timberwolves made it onto the field, it was number 12 to number 2, lather, rinse, repeat. That's Noah Boris to Marquise Dominguez. Back-to-back touchdown passes put Georgetown on top early, but Cedar Park isn't the type of team to go down and just stay down. They worked the ball into the red zone, apparently gave their quarterback a few extra protein bars, and Aiden Arp asked the defender, hey bro, how much do you bench? Not enough. He muscled his way in for 6. This one, like most of our local games, kicked off late due to weather delays, so it is still in progress. As things stand now, Georgetown leads 19-7, nearing halftime. We are moving on. A bunch of games took place in District 25 6A had one of the most interesting playoff scenarios. Entering this week, Vandergrift and Round Rock knew that they'd move on to the postseason, but Vista Ridge, Cedar Ridge, and Manor were all fighting for those final 2 spots from that district. They all had a legitimate chance to need 4 tiebreakers to determine who's in and who was out. Vista Ridge had the most power tonight. Well, second most power to Mother Nature. If the Rangers beat Round Rock, they'd be in the postseason, but that is easier said than done. Asher Chang in the backfield for the first quarter sack right there, big number 91 for the Dragons. But when Vista Ridge has time, well, that offense is very good. Jackson Harrell to Jack Podolak. Nothing Podolakin on this play. A 42-yard catch and run set up an early field goal. As things stand now, though, Round Rock has taken the lead. They're up 21-10 at the half. Before we get to the rest of the chaos in that district, let's go to the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Del Valle and Austin High still in the first quarter. Out east, they had the most severe weather delays. 7-0, Austin High, the Maroons lead the Cardinals. Dripping Springs up 21-0 against Anderson. We move on. More scores coming your way right now. San Marcos went down south to San Antonio. Apparently, they didn't have a long delay. They beat East Central 20-16. The Rattler season ends with a W. And Eastview over Leander. Right now, that game is nearing halftime. The score, the Patriots are up 33-21. Hey, at Cedar Ridge, Coach Sam Houston celebrated his guys on senior night. That's a rain or shine kind of activity. A win over McNeil would be huge for the Raiders' playoff chances. Mavs quarterback Brad Wittenberg doing his best Brad Pitt impression, taking the bullet train straight to the end zone. But Cedar Ridge responded. The slant to Reese Brooks. And if you thought Reese's weren't doing anything after Halloween, well, you're wrong. McNeil is on top. Current score, McNeil is on top. Okay. Current score in this one, 21-13 in the third. That could be huge. Hey, Manor in a similar position to Cedar Ridge. They'd need a win over Stony Point to stay in the playoff race. That won't help. A drop near the end of the first half. Then the Tigers defense just stoned the Mustangs at the line of scrimmage with seconds to go in the second quarter. So it was time for a field goal to increase Manor's 27-10 lead. The field goal looked good. It was signaled good. But minutes later, the refs talked to the Manor coaches and took the points off the board, which could be costly because the Mustangs' playoff fate could come down to how many points they score tonight. Currently, that game is at halftime. Manor has the lead 27-10. So guys, there is a way that the 3 games we just showed you could lead to a coin flip for who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Here's the deal. If Vista Ridge loses, Cedar Ridge wins, and Manor wins, we'll have a 3-way tie that goes to the 3rd tiebreaker. point differential in the entire district. Entering tonight, here's how the point differential looked for those teams. Vista Ridge was +8, Manor +3, and Cedar Ridge set at an even 0. These numbers will grow or decrease based on tonight's final scores, and because they kicked off so late, we don't know what those final scores will be just yet, but just for fun, and to build a little drama, let's pretend the Rangers lose by 4, Manor wins by 1, and Cedar Ridge wins by 4. In that very specific scenario, the point differential would be tied, forcing the district to go to its 4th and final tiebreaker, a coin flip. Representatives from each team would then meet up this weekend and literally call heads or tails like they did in the Friday Night Lights movie. The 2 teams that won the coin flip would go on to the playoffs, while the odd man out is literally out. Hey, more scoreboards coming your way. Canyon Lake over Lampasas tonight. The Badgers went up early but could not hold that lead. They fall 34-30. And a game that just entered halftime, Pflugerville up 7-0 over their crosstown rivals from Connolly. We'll see who's going to end their season with a win in that one. More scores coming your way. Liberty Hill doing what they've done all season. 47-7. That is a win over Piper. Liberty Hill is rolling into the playoffs with a long win streak. Guys, we've updated you on 11 games so far, and we have much more left to show you. Scores, highlights, our Band of the Week, and our Play of the Week nominees are all coming up next.
Friday Football Fever Big Save of the Week, sponsored by Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. We build true financial futures.
You don't have.
Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. It's time to bring in my good friend Tyler Feldman. And Tyler, out in Elgin, you got to see a matchup tonight between 2 teams that knew they'd make the playoffs, but there was still something on the line.
Of course, Jeff, and there was one big storyline on the line. The loser would fall to 4th place in the district, meaning that team would then have to open the postseason against LBJ, a team we all know is really stinking good. That kind of stinking. So a lot riding on this 11-5A matchup. Elgin 7-2, Rouse 4-5. So the Wildcats are having the better season, but the Raiders, yeah, they've won the last 4 meetings in this series. Opening quarter, Mason Shorb, play action, drops back, fires, caught. Mason Rieger on the receiving end, early 7-0 lead for the Raiders. Ensuing Elgin drive, Nathan Lewis airing it deep. And look who's wide open. That's Justin Strong, straight flexing, ATXing on that Rouse secondary. 67-yard touchdown. We're all tied up at 7. Lewis ain't having that, though. Same score, second quarter, the dual threat. Keeps it himself, taken down at the 1-yard line. Very next play, he gets in. Hey, colleges, you'll better start taking notice. Cats go up a touchdown, but back comes Rouse. Shorb hands it off to Justin Cannon. Boom. Bombs away. 30-yard touchdown. 14-all. This game currently in the 3rd after a delay. Rouse leading Elgin 28-17.
To Lake Travis, where tonight's game against Bowie didn't happen. Around 8:30, they announced this game would not take place. Thanks to our friend Jay Plotkin for sharing that information. Now, this would have been a matchup between the 3rd and 4th place teams in the district, but because it carried no playoff implications, well, I'm sure that made the decision a lot easier. Stay safe, stay dry, and get out of here. Lake Travis will be the district's number 2 seed in 6A Division 1, and Bowie will be the number 2 seed in 6A Division 2.
Scoreboards, big win for the Lockhart Lions, 42-28 over Kerrville-Tivy. With the win, the Lions now own the tiebreaker over the Antlers. Marble Falls, meanwhile, currently trailing San Antonio Davenport 42-0 in the 3rd. We've got more scores to get to here. Fredericksburg, the Billies fall to Bernie. They get burned by Bernie, 42-3. Smithville takes down Caldwell, 21-14.
Shout out to the stadium DJ in Wimberley, and of course shout out to Garth. Forget friends in low places. If you root for the Texans, you have friends in very high places, like the top of the district standings. Undefeated Wimberley hosted Austin Achieve, and Johnny Ball having a ball, and he ain't going down. That's a 60-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. Moments later, a screen pass to True Couch, the coolest name in town, got defenders off the couch and had them doing the dance. He left that secondary in pieces. The Texans win 66-0 and wrap up their first undefeated regular season since 2011 state championship run. Hey, back to the scoreboard. Geronimo Navarro, ending Manor New Tech's year in a big way. 74-0, the final score there. Lano, I see you, stinging them. 49-6, the final score over Ingram Moore. More scores coming your way. Now, this next set, a Luling win over Marion forced a 3-way tie for 3rd place in that district. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. We're going to go to some tiebreakers there and see who plays who in the playoffs first round. Mason, the Punchers, punching their way onto the postseason. They win 40-7 over Harper.
All right, 11 5A showdown way out in College Station. 7-2 A&M Consolidated hosting the 5-4 Glen Grizzlies. Grizzlies with the rock. Sky Mendez hands it off to DJ Dugar, and look at that DJ spin that track. He carries just about everyone into the end zone. It's 10-6 Glen. Tigers quarterback Will Hargett, well, he's going to get what he wants here. Basically untouched. Long house call gives Consolidated the lead. They never look back. Hargett gets another one on the ground as the Grizzlies fall just short, 19-17. Tough one for Glenn. How about this? Stockdale shocks Johnson City 24-21 with the win. The Brahmas now own the tiebreaker over the Eagles in the 14-2A standings, Jeff.
Tough loss for them at the end of the season, but they'll have more games this year.
Yeah.
Hey, every week we give a special shout out to one local group as our Friday Football Fever Band of the Week. This time, it's the band from Cedar Ridge playing one of my all-time favorite marching band songs.
Lady Gaga?
Not this time, no.
Why do you have
Well, welcome back to Friday Football Fever. Time to talk some 4A playoff scenarios here. Taylor hosted Burnett tonight, and the math was pretty simple in this one. You win, you're in.
Yeah, the Ducks and Bulldogs entered tonight with the exact same district record. How about that? 1-3 with each of those wins against the exact same opponent. How about that?
Okay.
By nearly the exact same score.
A lot of similarities.
How about that?
Yeah, a lot of similarities between those two. And how about this? That's what the view was supposed to be from the Taylor-Burnett game. Being as far north and as far east as it is, this was one of the last games in our viewing area to get started, kicking off after 9:30 p.m. And guys, the overtime budget is tight here, so we had to send our photographer home. But I can tell you the place that they call the pond was wet. As things stand right now, Taylor leads 27-18 at the half.
Good to see those windshield wipers working. Private school battle over at St. Michael's. The 4-win Crusaders hosting undefeated Regents. 8 straight wins for the Knights, looking to make it 9. This definitely helps. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Smith. Woo. I am for real. Blazing speed on the wheel route. That's a tutty. Then later, Quinn Murphy hooks up with Chili Sayer.
Oh, was that with or without beans?
It was spicy. Regents currently up. They're rolling 34-0 in the third.
I gotta tell you, I think the most unpopular opinion I have is I'm a chili with beans guy, but as long as it's spicy, give me spicy one more time.
Spicy.
There we go. That's what matters most. Next time you're eating chili or singing Outkast on television, what I want you to do is do that while you're wearing one of these. You might have to have a bib on if you're eating chili in a fresh white shirt. You can get one of these by finding a picture that Tyler just took of me. I never know if it's a picture or a video with this guy, but whatever he takes, I'm going to post it on my social media pages. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jeff Jones Sports. Like that page and comment on that post. I'm going to randomly select somebody and send this to you via FedEx for free. Add a new t-shirt to your collection.
Golden raisins in the chili.
Golden raisins?
I'm letting you in on my dad's secret ingredient.
Wow, okay.
It's not spicy. That actually sweetens it.
No clue what a golden raisin is. Check out my Twitter page. Like for one of these shirts, we're going to talk golden raisins in the break and more football.
Spectacular.
Stay right there. Go.
So I'm out here actually to present the KVUE Abacus Athlete of the Week, and it's going to be Ced Alexander. So. No problem. I got a couple questions for you, Doc. Broke the record for most career touchdowns for Austin ISD. What did that record mean to you? And also, that LBJ on your chest?
It's a blessing. I feel like I brought something special to the community and special to this team, and I just wanted to experience something great for everyone and just everyone to enjoy it.
The records aren't done yet. You can possibly break the rushing yards career record with just 43 more. What will it mean to not only do it just for yourself, but our offensive line, the offense around you, and just school and this community?
I mean, I can't do it without them. So, like, my offensive line, really the whole team, I can't do it without them. It's a team effort, and I'm just getting all the achievements, but it's a team thing.
I've been peeping after the games, but you got a couple fans, you know what I'm saying? You talking to the little kids. Why do you do that type of stuff, and why do you feel the need to?
Man, I want them kids to grow up and be just not like me, but better than me. I want them to just see me as a role model and just be better than me. So I just enjoy my time with the kids and have fun.
What do these guys in the locker room mean to you?
They mean everything. They're my brothers. They're my brothers. Like I call them my brothers. They mean everything to me, man. I wouldn't want nothing to happen to any one of them.
Got you. And good luck on Friday. I hope y'all do a good job, and thank you so much for your time, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we have to give you the update. Cedric and the Jags played Crockett on Thursday, and as Corey told us, Ced entered the night 43 yards from the record. He dished out some pain with tough runs in the first quarter, and then in the second, here it is, the record-setting run, a 17-yard touchdown. He gave the ball to his family, spent a few moments with his team.
Save of the Week, sponsored by Austin Telco.
Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. He's Tyler, I'm Jeff, and right now is one of my favorite parts of the show. We get to showcase some of the best plays that cross our desk every Thursday and Friday. We see hundreds, and we narrow them down to 3 of our very favorite to show you guys as our Austin Telco Big Save of the Week nominees. Let's get it going. We start with Glenn super sophomore running back DJ Dugar on this 17-yard touchdown run. DJ got hit right at the line of scrimmage, but all those trips to the weight room in the offseason, well, they paid off there. He carried defenders into the end zone, got some help from his old lineman, who's going to get some love on Friday Football Fever, Pablo Mendoza. I see you working hard there. It was a team effort on this play. Impressive season for Glenn. The future is bright for the Grizzlies.
Out in Elgin, there were Wildcats everywhere, waving their hands up in the air. That's Nathan Lewis to Justin Strong, and that's the way they do it. Come on, everyone. 67-yard touchdown. Clearly, the Wildcats are all in this together.
No explanation, just free rap?
That's what you get.
Absolutely love it.
On
front
Fridays.
Row seat to the concert, and hey, our photographer Scott Guest had a front row seat to the show that the Texans put on. Down in Wimberley, the Texans ran away from the rain, from the defenders, and from the rest of the district. Johnny Ball had a ball on this 60-yard touchdown. This was the very first play from scrimmage and helped lock up an undefeated regular season for Wimberley. Now that you have seen the nominees, it's time for you to let us know which play is your favorite. You do that by going to my Twitter page at Jeff Jones Sports. There you'll see a poll that I recently created, and I did create it. You're looking at me because you don't think I made time to do it. I did create it. The poll is there. You can vote on your favorite play. We'll re-air the winning one Tuesday during the 6 p.m. show. And don't forget, tomorrow KVUE is your home for all things Longhorns. They have that tough game against K-State. They'll see a local product there, Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn. Deuce on the loose.
Deuce on the loose. We covered a lot of his games when he was at Cedar Ridge. And tonight when we covered games, well, we met some interesting people. Tyler, you just couldn't stop talking about one of our KVUers.
Jeff, I drove out to Elgin today. Check this out. This is Sylvia. Now, when I walked in at the Elgin football stadium, Sylvia said, "Hey, I know you. I've seen you on TV." And then told me to be nicer to her Longhorns. Apparently, I wasn't nice enough to her Texas Longhorns. So I made a point when I was leaving the game to come back here to the station. I wanted to meet this lady. Who had the gall? Who had the gall to say that to me? It was Sylvia. And we got a picture. She was so excited. Sylvia, shout out Sylvia, because that goes to show you, don't be so sensitive. She wanted to interact.
Yeah.
And I wanted to meet Sylvia.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. Such an incredible young lady.
Yep. And good news for you is that Sylvia's still out at that Elgin game right now. So chances are she didn't see our Friday football forecast in the 10 p.m. show.
She's probably watching on her phone. She's high-tech wizard.
Okay, yeah, she didn't see you pick the other team for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was before you met Sylvia, though. You'd make a different choice.
Sylvia's
today.
making me a new man.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. I like the fact that y'all watched the weather-delayed version of Friday Football Fever. Next week, our last show of the season for Friday Football Fever, though we will continue to cover high school football all the way through the state championship games.
For Sylvia.
For Sylvia, yeah. And you know what? Let's run some highlights for Sylvia, too.
Why is it important to encapsulate your crawl space? Crawl space